Hi everyone, it's Tino. Today I'm making a spiky 3D Cancer Zodiac nails and it's going to be in flow blue styles. Get ready. So this design is an abstract design. It's very non-literal. You can make it however you want to make it. You don't have to make it as a Cancer Zodiac, but I'm using a Zodiac theme because I can. So I'm taking out nail tips and my pigment base. And we're gonna apply one coat. We are making a white on white look. So this background is going to be white, and then the claws that we're gonna have on there are gonna be white too. You only need one coat. See, nice, with even coverage, very smooth. Cure it for 60 seconds. Now, the second step is white Play-Doh. Let's take this out. And this is a spatula that I use to scoop out Play-Dohs. And I have an index card and a nail form. When I roll it, I roll on an index card because it doesn't leave like residue behind. But I don't roll it on the form, but I let Play-Doh rest on the form. Anything that are slick, it can rest very nicely on there and it's not gonna settle down and stick to the surface. So you have some bead with me. Put it right here. Now first, let's roll out 2 little beads. So we're gonna do the tip of the claw, this part right here, okay? Just a little bit, not much. However, you don't want to be too little that you have to add. You don't want to add. You definitely can remove. Remove is easier than add when it comes to this element. And you want to roll it on one side so it's pointy. Like that on one side. Roll this out on one side like that. Okay. The pigment base that I have already cured is have an independent layer, so it's perfect for Play-Doh. If you do it on top coat, then you might need to use sticky bottle right here. You might need to use this to help you stick Play-Doh on, but you don't need it for this now because it's already kind of sticky already. Just put it on nice and gentle. This one, same thing. Right here. All right, so when you first put it on, you do want to tap it lightly, not to smudge it, but just to let it kind of rest on the surface and kind of grab onto the surface, okay? And you need a silicone tool like this one. Okay, I'm going to use this head. You want to press it in, but not pressing it all at one to what is kind of flat. You just press it repetitively like this. Like that. Tap, 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 tap. That is a healthy motion for the 3D. You don't just have one big press. This usually doesn't turn out well for you. Okay, and remember that you're not smoothing it. You just shaping it. See how rough it is? Like it just get out of a nightclub. This is what you want. This is normal, okay? And then next, you need to cut it into shape. So you need to take out your Play-Doh knife. This is where your client gonna freak out. It just makes the visit funness. Just like that. Okay. Like this, cut it out. And then you cut it on the side too. Okay. Again, using the different head of the silicone tool, we are going to kind of round this edge just a little bit. This too, just push it and it's become roundish. Okay, let me see here. Okay, on the side too. Just let the crab claws. All right, and then I'm pressing it on the side just so it don't stick out too much. I mean, it's sticking out. You just don't want it to look not pretty, unfinished. You don't want it to look bulky. All right, so I think we have our claw. You can smooth it now. I'm gonna take out my brush conditioning cleanser. It's amazing to work with clay dough, just because it's an oil base that are friendly with gel, so it don't evaporate. You can use an oval brush or a flat brush or a 3D brush. Okay, you don't need much, just enough to wet the brush so you can stroke it. Now, what you do in here is you just make it not rough. Surface gonna be nice and smooth. You're not scooping this. Okay, if you need to shape it or scoop this, then you grab the silicone tool because it's heavy, you can press it. The brush are weaker and it's only used for smoothing. And now you can cure 60 seconds or you can flash cure it. Now the second step is this one right here. Okay, you need a lot. Need this bead and another one just the same size. Okay. And again, you want to roll it on one side like this. See, it becomes like a teardrop. Okay, maybe a little longer. There. Roll this one out too. Oh, I should not roll on here. See all this residue. Let me show you. See, I don't know if you can see it, but see the residue right here? So when you roll it on a foam like that, it's leave residue, and then in a little while, it will start sticking. So you roll it out here, it's safer. I'm glad I made that mistake so you can see it. See, you roll it out here, it doesn't have residue. And then you let it lay and rest in here because this is non-stick. Now I'm taking the nail out. And what I'm doing is laying it on here like this, gently. You don't have to press it yet. You just lay it on gently. The more gentler you do it, the easier for you. See that? Gently. Then you press just lightly. Because it's non-stick. If you press it hard, it might stick to your fingers and not stick into the nail. It's 50-50% chance. So you just press it lightly like that. Just tap, 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 tap. So it adheres to the surface. And then you can increase the strength as you go. Now you can use the tools. Let me see. I'm going to press this. There. And then press on the sides. I'm going to push this out just a little bit. There. Same thing on this one. Just press, press, press. Never one big press like that. No. Just. And if you press it big, it's going to change the shape. I forgot to mention that. See, the shape right now is beautiful. By lightly tapping it repetitively, you keep the shape, you control the shape. But if you have one big press, it's gonna just splash out. It's gonna be horrible. Unless you want it to be that way. Now, cutting it. This is when your client gonna tip you very well because they're afraid you're gonna cut them. Okay. Now I am gonna shaping it still, just a little bit, before I smoothen it. Don't worry if it's rough, that'll be fine, that's normal. You just make sure it's in the shape that you want. There you go. All right, this one I'm gonna push it out just a little bit so it's rounder right here. See, right here, not too round. I want it to be a little rounder, so tap, 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 repetitively. Remember, a big press, you're not gonna control the shape that way. See, this is easier to control since it's a little bit at a time. There it is. See, it's nice and round, nice and round. Now it's time to smoothen it. Okay. Smooth it out. I'm doing it on the side too. And remember that you're not shaping this. Remember this. You're just smoothing it. Okay. When everything is nice and in the shape that you want it to be, you can cure this. I consider this the most important step is the claw, because see, white on white, that make the design. That's beautiful. That create a dimension for it already. So no skippy, honey. This is very important. Cure this for 60 seconds. Now the next step is clear cellos. This is very important to make spike. We are going to make some spike. I'm using a round brush. Okay, I'll show you the first spike. I'll zoom in. So I am gonna take this much jello. Okay, it's important at the tips. It's all at the tip. If it's sticking out a little bit like that, that's great. That's perfect. So you just going to press it in like this and pulling it out slowly. This product is very important. If you don't have clear jello, you screw. There's no way to turn, there's nowhere to turn to. So if you don't have clear jello, you just have to skip this step. But I'll show you how to make spike. Okay, when you pulling it, it have to be slow. I'm gonna show you where you can go wrong. Okay, most people when they pull out like this, right, it seems to be good and then they just yank it out. And when you yank it out, look at it, it tilted. It's not pointy. You know, it tilted. Like if your husband doesn't have enough attention, see what it would look like. So you want to pull it out nice and slow. So it's straight and pointy and happy. See that? And you're going to do that 3 times. You can stop and cure it in between if you want. You don't have to, but if you work slow, you should, because after a while, remember this is still a gel. After a while, it might pour down by gravity a little bit, but as you see here, it's all fine. If you wanted to extend a little bit more, you can redo it like that, like that. See, now cure it for 60 seconds. Or you can just flash cure it. You can cure it for 5 seconds because you still need more spike. I just flash cured it just to make sure that it just stay that way. Okay. Okay, and I'll use my flash cured lamp. I'll show you in a second here. Remember, don't yank it out. It's gonna be tilted and sad. You want it to be nice and pointy and happy. Just like that, see? It's like it's excited. See, this is my flash cure light. Right now, it's still sold out, but it's almost in stock soon. See, you can do it in between just to make sure that everything works exactly the way it is. And right now, you couldn't see it clearly just because it's clear. I just ram. So later on, you'll see it more easily when I'm painting it. I use pigment base to paint on it again. Okay. Okay. Let me zoom in or zoom out. Next, I am going to use pigment base again. You can use art gel if you want, or like a gel paint, but pigment base are pretty awesome. So I can use pigment base and a round brush. I clean my round brush and I reuse it for painting. Sometimes people cannot use polish for this step because sometimes polish, if you have a white polish, you might notice that it's kind of milky, or if it's streaky, that to me is not a good white polish. If it's streaky or milky, I never paint in a white background in 2 layers. See, my pigment base, it makes sure everything is covered all nice. And its opacity can absolutely be used for this step. It's very opaque, but it's cured correctly. It's not like it's opaque and it's cause wrinkle when it's clear. It's clear very well. Everybody love pigment base. Just applying it on here. See, now you can see the spike more. It's casting shadow on it. It matching the background. Let's do this now. But you can clear in between if you feel nervous about it. I think that my application is pretty good. See, if you put too much gel on it, it would drip. It will spill everywhere because it's a polish. But look at it. See, it's not very drippy. Let me just go ahead and paint this now without clearing it so you can see how awesome it is. It's almost like a gel paint, but it's extremely cell level because it's a polish. Okay. Okay, make sure you cover everything. But another reason why I do want you kind of clear this one first before you work on this one, because you see my finger right here. You see the paint right here? I actually touch it. See? When I'm drawing my anchor finger, I have to use it to anchor. But sometimes you have wet gel here, wet gel there. It might stick on your glove or your fingers. So you can try to be careful, but the easiest way is just to cure this. Now, when you cure and polish, remember you don't want a flash cure polish. It will wrinkle on you. Polish, you have to cure at least 30 seconds. That is a flash cure for polish. Okay? It's not a gel paint. So you cannot just go around and flash cure polish. That is a rule. All right, now cure for 60 seconds on everything. Next, we using ultramarine art gel. That is a color you've seen, the most beautiful blue ever. Let me put this on. We also have these rings if you're interested. Like that. Sometimes it make work easier. I don't use it all the way in the nail set. Let's use blooming gels. My current blooming gel bloom very fast. And it is HEMA-free, TPO-free. Just a little bit out here. And I will use my round brush. And at this moment, it's already pretty. You see that? This is already pretty. You can have a white on white set like that. It's kind of like stucco. Like if I have if I can do art on a wall in my house, I would definitely like this theme, but it's kind of like monotone. I think that is pretty. Let's switch brush. Using an embossed brush right here, like a liner brush but thicker, and I'm dotting it like 5 dots, kind of like a flower, kind of like if you were to make a flower. You don't need it to look like a flower. You just need something to be on there. Like this. Okay, a little bit right here too. Okay. This is one kind of, I think I have too much gel on this, but that's fine. We're gonna let it bloom out and we're gonna move on to this part. You don't want too much blooming gels. Like that. You can pay more attention to these. You can add like leaf and vine on it and make it like a flower, but you don't have to. It's just for the colors. You don't even have to bloom it if you don't want to. I don't think I have blooming gel on here. Go ahead and sort of smudging it out. Apply some blooming gel right here, because I still want some color right here. add a little bit on here. Okay. Crack it out. Okay, good enough. Here it is. And after that, you can continue to do these two claws. Do you see how easy it is? It looked crazy at the end. See how crazy it looked? But it's very easy. You just have to know the step. I'm gonna add lumen gel on both. Okay, now start dotting it. I don't dot on the spike. You can if you want to. There's no rules to this. Okay. Okay. Let bloom maybe one at the tips. Let bloom out. Very abstract. Anything that are abstract are easy, just because you don't have a specific form. Even the claw. Go ahead and cure this. Now, I'm using my 10mm liners. Okay. And I'm going around just to frame this. Go all the way down. From here, all the way down. Okay. Up here. Just like that. And then right here, you can turn your claw nail upside down like this. Okay, and the cuticles. Make sure you cover everything. Okay. After that, we're gonna cure for 60 seconds. Then the next step, I like to take out stained glass gels. I'm actually gonna move this to my thumbs. Ooh, I have big thumbs. There, it's adjustable, by the way. It's called the lunar rings. Okay, I'm gonna take out my nails. Okay, this stained glass is number 8. It's a deep blue. It's very pretty. Okay, it's this blue right here. And let's use the embossed brush. What I want to make is a blend. From here, I apply, and then I use the ombre brush. Take out my ombre brush. I'm gonna blend this. Oh, I cleaned it in between. Okay, and then you can flash cure this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Take out the embossed brush again. And let's go down here. And then in between the claw, just so the claw stand out. Right here between the claw. Okay. Oh, in the picture I have it up here. Up here instead. I'm just gonna wipe it off. There. Use an ombre brush. Clean. Keep going. Good. Down here. Brush it out. Clean. Keep on going. You have to clean it in between. If not, it's gonna have stain on your brush, and then you're gonna smudge it. See, when it gets to here, you have to stand on your brush. You have to clean that like that. So when you go back, there's no gel. You always have to do that when you do any kind of blend. Your brush needs to be clean. Not all the way, just semi-clean, so there's no gel on it. Now, you're gonna cure this. It's already look beautiful. And you don't have to take your blending seriously. I don't consider this like the best blend ever, but you're gonna have detail on it. So it shouldn't matter. Go ahead and cure this for 60 seconds. Next, we're gonna do emboss. White texture gel is what I use for emboss. I'm gonna scoop it out in my lunar rings. I'm actually gonna use it more because usually I use my palette and it's off screen. I don't want my screen to be crowded. And white texture gel. So the mood ring actually, the lunar ring actually really good. I'm gonna use it more often. Okay, wipe it. Okay. I plan to draw floral on it because Flow Blue always have floral, but I decided that it's gonna be very busy. So I decided to use emboss instead of drawing floral and vine everywhere, and then you couldn't see anything. Just because this design, you have the claw and it stand out from the background. So if you draw lines everywhere, it might camouflage the claw. But right now you still can see the claw very well. I forgot before we started, let's matte everything. Because the emboss is no wipe, it don't need any top coat. So let's go ahead and finish everything with matte because everything here needs top coat. Okay, you don't have to pay very much attention to the claw. If you accidentally have some matte go on the claw, that's fine, but the claw gonna be shiny for me. See the groove right here needs some matte too. Okay, cure this. And then you can use shine the top coat on the claw now if you want to. I have it on a palette. I don't have it on a mood ring. I keep calling it mood ring. I don't have it on the lunar ring because I never put top coat on the lunar ring. It would drip everywhere. It's only for gel paint. Okay, on this claw too. It's just like a little contrast. You don't have to. You can do everything matte or everything shine. I just like some contrast. Hear this? Now, for emboss, let's use a 10mm liners. I know that I have an emboss brush for bigger detail, but you see this line, it start out big, but when it going in, I need it to be very fine, almost really pointy like hairline. So that's why I use 10mm liners. But doesn't matter what brush you use, this is how you load the brush. So first you're gonna twist it back and forth and stroke it out all nice and skinny. This is how you load it when you drawing like line work. But emboss line, you need to take out a lot of gel at the tips, not at the whole brush, only at the tip, because when you draw and drag it out, you're gonna be out of gels, and then it's gonna be like this again, nice and skinny, and that's what make the tails really pointy. Okay, so I'm gonna do it on the nails. Okay, so my brush is like this. I'm gonna take up big amount of gels right at the tips and then press it on and drag out. See, really pointy. That's how I do all my embossed line. Press and drag. The reason why is at the tip, because the moment you apply your tip onto the surface, it's already all gone. So when you drag it out, it's nice and fine because your brush body doesn't have a lot of gel, only the tips. So we're gonna do the same thing on here. Let's do some dot first, because that's what I do on the design. I dot it a little bit. You can do that with a brush too, because this is not a gel polish. This is a embossed gel, so you can do that with a brush. Gel polish, you have to use the dotting tool because it's runny. Okay, you have that. I think that's nice. It's completely optional. Now, if you want your embossed detail to be like really thick, then you can mix your white texture gels with a little bit of clear texture gel. So it's clear all the way through. It's clear properly. But this is not a thick embossed line. This is very moderate and subtle. So I don't need all the clear texture gel to be mixed in. This will be just fine just because the line is not crazy. The line is actually very subtle, like me. Yeah, right. Maybe in another life. Now, I'm gonna finish this with a few last details. See how nice it is? It makes the design look so expensive and AI-like. Add one more. This. Now, if you don't have white texture gel, then I would suggest, I don't know why not. You should have white texture gel because it's amazing. But if you don't have it, you can change this to a floral patterns, but you cannot use white gel paint because the white gel paint, you cannot do the same thing. First of all, it's not going to cure well. And the number two is it's a flat design. If you use gel pen, and it's not gonna be pretty, it's just gonna be weird. Like me, but not in a fabulous way. So no gel pen. If you don't have white texture gel, then you just have to switch your design style. But you should have white texture gel because it's amazing. Look how easy it is too. So you see from step number A to step number Z, from A to Z, is nothing difficult, except for when you make the clay dough. That to me is the most difficult step, and it's not even that challenging. It's just press and smooth. You already see all that. Nothing is challenging, nothing is too detailed, but it's very heavy on product. It's full of special effect product that helped me make this design. See? So you can definitely make this. You don't have to have skill, but product is what you need to pay attention to. All the step is very simple, but when it combined, it's amazingly ridiculous looking design. Is crazy, it's AI, it's dimensional. It doesn't look like it's made by a human. So remember to practice. Remember 3D is a must. The spy will make it so much more funner. If you don't have the step for the spy, I completely understand. I don't understand, but I'm not disapproving. Now, the white texture is an absolute must because it's a soul of this design, a must have. Remember to shop at Tino's, tinovote.shop, and share my YouTube channel with your friend, unless you don't like them and you don't want them to know the secrets. But until next time, bye-bye.